even further, look at some of these stocks. And let's begin with United Health and Nucor, both heading higher this morning, as you can see nicely. Berkshire Hathaway disclosed major investments into both companies while pairing Apple stock. So there you go. Look at United Health up 10%. Thomas Hayes is with me this morning to talk about this. Good morning to you, Thomas. Do you follow Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway moves? I mean, certainly the market seems to.
Very, very closely. My whole business is predicated on the philosophy that what Warren Buffett once said, great investment opportunities come around when excellent companies are surrounded by unusual circumstances that cause the stock price to be misappraised. United Healthcare is the perfect example of that. This is one of the greatest healthcare insurance companies in history. The stock was down 61% peak to trough this year on the DOJ investigation into Medicare billing and increased loss ratio. He swooped in and bought it in the hole while everyone was puking out the stock in uncertainty. Warren Buffett and his team bought it. That's what's made him the greatest of all time and will continue to make him the greatest of all time. As it relates to Nucor, Buffett historically likes competition, businesses that have no competition. And with 50% steel tariffs and the massive reshoring happening in the United States, Nucor is well positioned due to that. And Warren Buffett said, I'd like some of that.
All right. Well, let's move on. I want to talk about Intel. A lot being talked about this chip maker. Another good day for the, well, let's call it the bewildered chip maker. It's up 2.5% after yesterday's 7% gain. A new report says the Trump administration is considering taking a stake in the company, which in itself is fascinating. Intel is one of your stock picks. Why do you like Intel that has been struggling?
We love it. We gave it to Stu at $20. It sat there forever. It's now starting to go. If the government actually steps in like a wartime policy, a competitive policy, the Ohio chip plant for fabs could be one of the largest chip making plants in the world. And you know why we bought it? It's the only game in town. If you're serious about building chips in the United States, they're at the 10-yard line. They do need some government help to push it over the edge. But Lip-Bu Tan, who came from Cadence Systems, is a winner. He did a turnaround at Cadence. The stock was down 85%, 68 bagger over the next 14 years. This guy knows how to turn around companies. He went to meet with President Trump. If they're investing side by side with Lip-Bu Tan, they're going to have a huge win for Intel, huge win for the United States, and make us less dependent. And by the way, there was an announcement that he's considering tariffs, 300% tariffs on chips coming in. How's that going to set up Intel moving forward? It's going to be a monopoly for Intel if they get this done correctly.
Very good. All right, let's move on to another well-known name, Meta. A new report from Reuters is calling out the company over their AI chatbots. They say internal documents show that Meta allowed their chatbots to engage in romantic conversations with children. Are you kidding me? Republican Senators Hawley and Blackburn are now calling for a congressional probe over that accusation. This is a weird one. Meta itself up 0.5%. What's your take on all of that?
I think Meta's got to get on it. We're going to see all kinds of unintended consequences from AI, but also all kinds of unintended benefits from AI. But the consequences and the negatives, you can't have inappropriate talk with minors. That needs to be nipped in the bud very, very quickly. It's good to see the senators taking action right away to get ahead of it. You know, with social, maybe they were a little behind the curve. With AI, hopefully they can stay ahead of the curve. This is a good development. It will be good for Meta. It will be good for the kids. It'll be good for creating a framework for this new technology.
Exactly. All right, moving on to the semiconductor equipment maker, Applied Materials, down 12, nearly 13% after their third quarter earnings. Their forecast for the current quarter came in a little lighter than expected, and CEO Gary Dickerson says that the macro environment is, quote, creating increased uncertainty and lower visibility. You know, what do you make of that? Any worry for these stocks?
Well, he did the absolute no-no, which is he took down guidance. The average company that beat and raised this quarter was up 4.5%. The average company that took down guidance was down over 10%. Applied Materials is no different. They were complaining about tariffs. They were complaining about export licenses. Newsflash, everyone else in your sector has the same problems, and they're doing just fine, so get your act together.
All right. Tough love. Let's take a look at Target. Headed south, down ever so slightly, nearly 0.5% after a downgrade from Bank of America. Analysts say the retailer is falling behind its peers, namely Amazon and Walmart. They say Target's outlook is, quote, deteriorating, which is not good. So can Target catch up to Walmart and Amazon? What's your take on this, or is it too late?
Look, the sell side is famous for downgrading in the hole. This stock is down a lot off of its all-time highs. I think this is an area where you want to start to look at it. It's a high-quality business. My 11-year-old and 13-year-old daughters can't get enough of Target. They love it. They say they have everything they need all the time. Yeah. Even I've gone to the store and I said, this is pretty cool. So look, at these levels, I want to start to take a look at this. This is a high-quality, durable business that's proved its way over time. And they'll get it right. Whether it goes a little lower before it starts to recover is unknown. But I think for the long term, you probably start to be okay at these levels.
I want to get to another of your stock picks, Tom. We had another analyst earlier this week bring us the same stock. There has to be something to it. Albemarle.
Okay, well, Ash, I brought this to Stu on June 18th. Wow. It's up close to 50%
Bravo.
Since. And by the way, it's going to double again from here over the next few years, in our opinion. Here's why. The Chinese government is taking out overcapacity. They did not renew a license for CATL to continue its lithium mining. So they're starting to take supply off the market. Albemarle is one of the lowest cost producers in the world. They're cyclically positioned perfectly. They've got $3.1 billion of liquidity, and demand for lithium is going from 1.2 million metric tons to 3.2 million by 2030. And that's not just Chinese EVs.
Right.
That's energy battery storage systems.
We hear what you're saying, Thomas.
They're going to benefit.
We hear you. You're very optimistic. Thank you. Great stuff. Thomas Hayes today. Thank you very much. Coming up, a whistleblower.